it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name's 𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓬 and welcome back to my channel, or two if you are new. And today we are filming the intro to an exciting reading vlog, I think anyways. If you are new here, I love indie romances. I love Kindle Unlimited, I love indie, I love dark romances. And I kind of neglect the whole other side to the romance genre, which is traditionally published romances. I just don't really read them. I do own, you can't really see them, but that whole shelf right there, that's all traditionally published romance that I just don't read much of. And so I kind of have FOMO. For example, with the Goodreads Choice Awards that came out for the romance category, that was all like traditionally published, not much indie. I think there was only like From Blood and Ash on there. And so I never know what's going on. I have FOMO when other people are talking about traditionally published romances. These are popular romances. These are like booktube darlings, if you will. Tons of people read them, not just like romance booktubers, but like everyone. Like if you love sci-fi and you read of romance, it's most likely going to be the popular traditional romances. I decided I want to make a reading vlog reading them. So I picked out 4 romance books that are traditionally published, obviously, and I'm gonna read them and see if I like them, if they're different. Obviously, I've read one before. I think, thinking back on it, of course I've read traditionally published, but I don't know. I just remember You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle and The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. So those are the only 2 that come to mind when I think about traditionally published romances that I read. Oh, and Beach Read. I'm basically saying that the illustrated covers, for some reason, I just associate those with traditionally published and contemporary, and I never read them. I like to read the ones with shirtless people on them. And so that's what I'm doing today, basically. And I'm going to see if I like them, because I hate having FOMO. I couldn't even vote in the Goodreads Choice Awards for the romance category because I literally only read one, which is From Blood and Ash. So that's what I am doing today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So before we get into it, I thought I should tell you my TBR and the books that I'm planning on reading. So number 1, we have a very well-loved book. Everyone and their mother loves this book. They talk about it all the time, and I'm so excited to read it. And that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I am dying to read this book. I don't know much about this. I do know that there's chronic illness rep, and I guess there's the main character, Chloe Brown, and she has lived life very carefully. So I think she makes it like a bucket list, a get a life list, to just get a life and have like exciting things to do, I guess. I don't know much about this, but I'm so excited to go into it, and I think I'm going to read this one first. And then we have another book that I hear talked about a lot, which is The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. Again, don't know much about this one. I do know though that there is like a group of guys who come together, a bromance book club, if you will, and they read romance books, and I guess they take like the lessons that they learn in those romance books and apply them to their own relationships, maybe. I think that's what this is about. I know that Bree from In Love and Words loves this book so much. The next book that we have, I actually do not have a physical copy of, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This one, talk about Get a Life, Chloe Brown well loved. This one is so well loved. Everyone loves this book. I'm sure you guys know, like, I'm the only one, and I hate having that FOMO because I want to be able to laugh like, haha, The Hating Game, so funny. I know there's like some kind of thing with strawberries, strawberries. I don't know. I hate FOMO and I want to be in on it. So I'm reading The Hating Game. I am so excited. I love a good office romance. I love a good enemies to lovers, and that's what I've picked up from everybody loving this book. So this is one that I'm super excited about, and if I love it, then I will be getting a physical copy. But for now, I'm listening to it on Hoopla. And the last book that I am reading is The Kiss Quotient by Helene Hoang. I'm so excited to read this book. I know that people love this in the bride test. I'm trying to figure out if I can read the bride test first, because not gonna lie, that one's interesting me a little bit more. It's just the quotient part in the what even is this? Is this a divide sign or a divide sign? I don't know. It's just the math on here. And as you can see, like the details of the book, I just, no math for me. And the bride test, I've heard more about the bride test, and the bride test does seem a little bit more appealing, but everyone I talk to says different things. Reagan, for example, she said the kiss quotient is way better than the bride test. Charles, for example, Charles says that he thinks the broad test is better than the kiss quotient. And I'm like confused. So honestly, I think at this point it doesn't even matter which one I read. So I'm just going to read the one that goes in order first, even though the math makes me uncomfortable. These are 3 of the 4 books that I will be reading for this reading vlog. I am so excited to get into these traditionally published romances and learn about booktube darlings and read and have some fun. I'm so excited. And I'm going to start first with Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And I'll update you guys when I'm 50% through it. Hi guys, so it is a few days later and I have been reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Also right now I'm in reading sprint, so it's a little bit awkward, but I will show you. And I am 50% through Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and it is so good. It is so funny. It is everything that I understand the hype. I mean, again, I'm only 50% in, but like the way it's going, I am obsessed. But I love this book so much. It's so heartwarming. I love it. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. If you haven't heard of what it's about, I'll explain it to you really fast. Also, we're supposed to be talking in 2 minutes, so let me explain this super fast. So basically, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, it's about this girl named Chloe Brown, and she has fibromyalgia, I think that's how you pronounce it, and that's like a chronic illness. And because of this, she had to put a lot of her life on hold, on pause. And one day, she accidentally gets into like an accident, and it made her think that if she died right now, what would there be to say about her life? So she makes a list, and it's her Get a Life list, and she wants to do all the things that she thinks will give her like a good life, things that will make her feel happy, have a thrill. One of the things on the list was to move out of her family home. She does, and she meets the superintendent of her building named Red, and they kind of have like this banter relationship going on. They both think that they don't like each other, and then they strike up a deal, and Red is going to help her with her list. And Chloe makes websites, and so she's going to make Red's website for him. And it's literally so cute. I love this. The tension in here is so amazing. And it's just so interesting. Like, I love being in Chloe's head. I love her thought process. And I love how she's realizing things about herself in the list, which is making it so much more fun and interesting. Also, Emma's here in the chat and she bought me this book. And I literally just want to give her a big hug and kiss because I have a feeling this is going to be like a favorite book of mine. I love it. It's so fun. I just love it. So that's it for now. I will update you guys when I finish this book, and we are going to choose the book that I will read next. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, that was so...
Reading sprints are done.
Hey!
Hi! And, wow, my room is messy, sorry. And I have 30 pages of this lovely, beautiful book. And I most likely will cry if she gets a cat by the end of this. All right, bye-bye. Hi guys, it is now 12:49 and I am done with Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This was so amazing. I totally get the hype and it's everything that I wanted and more. It was so funny, so funny. Red is the love of my life. I'm obsessed with him. I'm obsessed with Chloe and his relationship. The banter that they have is just so entertaining. I'm usually one with romantic comedies or romances. Lots of banter gets on my nerves, but their banter was just so perfect and funny. And I love how Red could like read her mind and knew her thoughts before even she knew her own thoughts. And it just warmed my heart so much, everything about this book. And what I really love about this book is that there's themes in here that aren't in other romances. First of all, the chronic illness rep. Love that. I already knew that was going to be in here going into it, but then also there's domestic abuse, but with what's really rare is that the girl, not that it's like rare in real life, but rare in romances. I feel like you don't hear much about like domestic abuse from the woman abusing the male in heterosexual relationships. And so I thought that was really interesting. I don't know, this just brought up a lot of things that I just don't typically read about, which really made me happy because I've never read a book like with any of those two themes. So this was really cool. I just really love it. Was so funny and I just love the banter, and Red and Chloe are literally the cutest beings in the world. Like, I am obsessed with them, and I don't know, it was the writing. I felt like I was best friends with them, which you guys know was like one of my favorite feelings when reading romance books, like feeling like I'm literally their best friend and they're calling me up on the phone and telling me their whole story with this guy that they just met. Like, I love that, and I totally felt that with these characters in this book. I love it. And I cannot wait to read Dani Brown. Take a hint, Dani Brown. Dani sounds like my type of girl. Like, she is like a witch, and in the beginning of the book she's talking about affirmations and like potions. I'm like, this is gonna be so fun. And I think she's a teacher, I don't remember, but I feel like all that together would just make an awesome book. So I'm so excited to read Dani Brown. Now what I think I want to pick up is The Hating Game. I'm gonna keep going strong with these like big hyped ones, even though all of them are pretty hyped. So I'm gonna read The Hating Game now, and I'll update you guys when I'm 50% through The Hating Game. Hi guys. I look a mess, but I'm honestly not gonna fix it because hopefully this is just gonna be really short and sweet. So I am 50% through The Hating Game. And if you've read this book and if you've paid attention to like where you're at in the book, you would know that 50% I want to rip my hair out. I want to pull out my eyeballs. I want to go crazy. The tension in this book, so good. It's a lot for me, and I just need something to happen. You guys know what I want to happen. I need to happen because I'm over it. He's like, I just can't. It is so good. So I realized I never told you guys what it's about, so I'll do that really fast. Lucy and Josh are both like, oh, how do I explain this? Okay, so basically they both worked for individual publishing firms, publishing companies, but then those two companies merged, and since then Lucy has never felt the same. She loved her old position, she loved her old publishing house, but now that it's all together, she hates her job. Josh and Lucy both had the same position, but for their individual bosses from before the merger. So they kind of they work in the same office, they work next to each other, but for their individual bosses, and their bosses also hate each other as well. So it's like that kind of thing. They hate each other, but do they hate each other? I mean, they don't hate each other. I mean, I don't know, but from where I'm at, it seems like they don't hate each other, and it's pretty apparent. Like, I just love Lucy and Josh's obsession with each other. I love these type of books where it's like they're so infatuated with each other or so obsessed with each other that like they become kind of crazy, and this is just such a good example of that. I love it so much. It warms my heart. And Josh is playing games. I mean, to be honest, all of them are playing games, but Josh is playing like the hardest game of all. Like, I'm confused by the state of the relationship at this point, and I think it's kind of fun because I just don't know where I'm at. So I just really love it. I don't know, it's so much fun. Hello everyone. So it is days later and I have finished The Hating Game. I really enjoyed it. I'm thinking I'm gonna give it 4 stars just because I did find myself bored a few times while reading this book. I wish it wasn't like that. I definitely want to reread it. I will say that listening to the audiobook for this book has made it a little bit more difficult for me to actually like be in the moment and focus, because there are lots of like slow scenes. So I think reading the physical book actually makes you more into the story, but I didn't have that, so I listened to the audiobook and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so cute. I thought the tension was perfect, but I will say, like I said before, that lots of scenes I was just bored with. So that's my final rating, 4 stars. I definitely want to read it again in the future and see if my rating still stands, but I definitely want the physical book. And yes, I know my progression from loving it to giving it 4 stars, which I still love it. I still really enjoyed it, but I don't know, right now I'm just kind of like, oh, that was a cute story. Like, it wasn't anything profound and mind-blowing, you know? So yeah, that's that. Now I think I'm going to read The Kiss Quotient, and I think this might be my last book just because I have another reading vlog that I'm really looking forward to filming, and I did not plan out my time very well. So my brother's in the shower and he's playing music, and then how I'm feeling about that will determine if I pick up the bromance book club or not. If I don't, then let me know if you guys want a part 2 to this video where I read traditionally published romances, and let's see if I like them. So I will update you guys when I'm 50% through The Kiss Quotient. Again, little reminder, 4 stars for The Hating Game, and yeah, I really thought it was cute. Now let's get into The Kiss Quotient. Hello everyone, I am now 50% through The Kiss Quotient, and I am having so much fun reading this. I will say though, I need a good palette cleanse, and I'm so excited to read fantasy after this because it's just been consistently romance. There's nothing in here that's super exciting to me. I really love the representation, and I've never been in a character's head who's autistic, so I think that's pretty cool. I am learning about different like triggers, different things that bother her, and I know that this isn't like the same for every autistic person or someone who's on the spectrum, but I think it's so cool being in her head and learning about all this stuff, just learning so much. It's kind of fun. I really am in love with all the characters. I think that Stella is the coolest girl. She is so in love with her work, and that's literally what I would love my future to be, me being in love with my work. Also, I think Michael is super fun, and he goes through a lot and he works super hard, and I think that's so cool to see. I love a good family guy while reading romance books, and he is like the ultimate mama's boy family guy, and it's so cute. I'm obsessed with the relationship. Also, I just realized that I never told you guys what it's about. So basically, we have Stella, and Stella, she again is autistic, and her parents are kind of like, when are you going to settle down? When are you going to be in a relationship? And so that led her to go think about her past and her past with guys and her sexual relationship with guys. And she realizes that she doesn't think that she's good in bed. And so she hires an escort, and she ends up hiring Michael. And Michael is like, well, you can't become obsessed with me. And she's like, well, I want you to teach me. And he's like, okay, well, I can teach you. And it's really cute, but then they're developing real feelings for each other, but they both know that they can't develop feelings for each other. Michael just isn't really interested in that. Stella's like, no, this guy, I'm literally paying him for my time. And then they decide to switch from like sexual lessons to just regular dating lessons, because she feels like she's an awkward person and that she can never be a good girlfriend. And so it's really cute. I mean, she's meeting his family, and they're going through the whole dating lessons, and you see them develop real feelings for each other, and I think it's so much fun. But I do need a palette cleanse. I'm kind of over it. There's nothing profound about this book yet. I'm hoping to reach that. But yeah, I'm loving my time with it, and I think it's so much fun. This video is going up tomorrow, so I really need to finish this book, and I will update you guys when I am done and we can wrap up this video. Hi guys. Oh my gosh, I look naked. I swear I'm not. So I finished The Kiss Quotient, and it was so amazing. 5 stars. I am obsessed with every element of that book. It was perfect. Michael is perfect. I am in love with him. Stella is perfect. I'm in love with her. I'm in love with them together. They're literally just so cute. You know that saying, you can't love anyone until you love yourself, and that is so prevalent through these romance books that I've been reading for this reading vlog. Like, people are really working out their own issues working out their problems before they come together at the end. I really love that. But I will say, I never knew what people were talking about in romance books when they say there's always like a fight at the end. I'm pretty sure in every single book besides The Hating Game, there was a little fight at the end, which doesn't really happen in indie romances, or at least the indie romances that I've read, because I like to read romances where they're fighting the entire time. So it was a little bit annoying, the little tits and tats that they'd get into at the end and then come together. And I noticed now how that can be pretty annoying if all you read is traditionally published romances. But all in all, I really enjoyed my time with all 3 of these books. It was so good. I loved every moment of them. I loved reading stories like this. I definitely want to read more traditionally published romances. All these were like comedic. They had that comedic relief, which I really enjoyed and thought it was so fun. And I just really enjoyed my time. So I'm definitely going to pick up more traditionally published romances in the future. For sure. I definitely want to stay on the trend. I definitely want to know what people are talking about, and I just loved my time with all these books. If I were to rank them, it'd probably be Get a Life, Chloe Brown, The Kiss Quotient, and then The Hating Game, which is very bizarre because I know people love The Hating Game. And I don't think I said this, but I'm giving The Kiss Quotient 5 stars. It was just so amazing, so cute. I loved it so much, and I love the HEA at the end. The HEA was literally perfection, and I just am in love with that couple and all of the couples I've read about. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. It truly helps to support me and my channel. All of my links will be down below. That includes my Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads. All of that is down below. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
If I got one thing right, it was you.